Oh, is it not hot enough to finish? I bet I could kill those. I bet I could kill those dead. Okay. We are up. What is in our hole? Still just a goat and a rabbit. What even is this? Deer. That was a dumb waste of time. We need to be thinking about where we can go. How we can go. Maybe killing these things. I think goats don't give a ton of meat. Please die. I don't want to have to fight you, man. Beautiful. Guess I don't have my club anymore, right? Do I have anything that could... I guess I got an axe. Not the best rabbit hunting weapon, I guess. I didn't know rabbits do red meat. That's interesting. I guess all non-predators do? Oh, baby. That is a lot of meat. And fat. The horns are kind of... They're not really something to do. But... I'm trying to think, could we get clay conceivably in the next 2 days? I don't think we can get far enough that it's gonna be. So we're gonna go ahead and cook all this. I don't know the best strategy for cooking. I haven't really paid enough. Okay, things that we're gonna want to take with us. Probably the bed, right? Maybe we'll. We can get a new bed. Bones. Yeah, we'll take them. They're useful for tools. Probably, definitely want all my sticks. Conglomerate stones have not been good to us. And there's plenty out there in the conglomerate sands. Fire starter we're taking. Torch we're probably taking. Tools over here. Shovel. Oh, there's not much durability on them, but no reason not to take it. These decay over there. There's nothing useful to be made, right? Not really. Unfortunately, it's just not useful till later when we turn it into leather. So, we've got a little bit of time here until we really need to move on. grabbing some horsetail could be a really good move. Horsetail is used for healing items in combination with cat. So horsetail is hard to come by on the plains, but not so much here. It just looks plentiful because we camped right next to it. So depending on how much cattail we find, it could be super helpful. It's also one of the plants that you can't just grow. It has a chance of appearing in fallow fields, but it's like a low chance, and then you're just like not using all that space. So there's no way to like farm it. And when you're hurt and you want to heal up, you don't want to be going into a forest with wolves. So. What just happened? That was weird. Nothing in my offhand. 3 days we might be able to get clay and get this into something useful. So the fat we're going to keep for now and save it as like an emergency button. Alright, this is going to take forever. We might just take the meat with us. I think that's exactly what we're going to do. We're just going to... like this. Yeah, so this conglomerate sand we don't really need. We'll leave some of that here just in case. How much more do we need? We need 3 ropes for improvised armor. Is that correct? 3 ropes. So yeah, we need 5 more vines. Alright, we are moving out. Fuck this place. I'm going to leave that rye because there's a chance that we come back here and it's just full of animals, right? That would be cool. We've got some bearing on the land now. We're not at copper yet. I wish I could justify collecting all the copper, but we still have to get past this bear and find the plains again, which should be fairly straightforward. We have a really bad map. We know that if we hit the flowers, we're going the right way. And the flowers should be over here on the left of the conglomerate sands, according to our map. So there's the flowers. And then we head straight down this way to the tool pond. Tool is used for thatching, but it's, as far as I know, just more tedious and less plentiful dry grass. I don't know why you would ever use it. Rye, I think we have in our inventory, so we can gather all this. Okay. Want to try not to have anything in the offhand, simply because it increases your hunger usage. Okay, so we're past the tool pond. I think we need more landmarks. There's more flowers up here. That could be a good landmark. We're going to call that 2 peaks over there. Goats are only scary if you hit them, I think. Okay, we're getting into a good... Oh, damage. I'm not seeing a convenient way down. I guess we never found that copper a second time. Ooh. Copper here. There's a ruin. Okay, this archway ruin would be a good landmark. It's kind of on the edge of everything. Alright, so flowers, and then there's... Well, it says copper should be right here somewhere. I'm not going to spend a ton of time looking for it, but I would like to know where it is in relation to that ruin, right? It's possible we have our directions a little wrong. I didn't do any kind of distance measuring, so these are still really loose sketches. I don't really know anything about surveying. It's on the very edge of things, so we're going to say... that... That wasn't great. I think 2 peaks might be where we were spawning, because it's got that snow at the top. So we might head back that way a little bit. I don't want to get super far away from spawn. Like, that's not the goal. Cattails are nice, but not super needed right now. I'm gonna grab these berries while we can. Simply because, I mean... You never know, you know? We do have a ton of red meat, so maybe it would have made more sense to save them for later. In case I come through here another time, but... I think I'd rather just have the berries on hand for right now. Especially because we're so far from anything. Okay, this pond is... This is the cattail pond. Okay. So then... we need to adjust our map. And the copper should be... right around here somewhere, right? I think we just headed back this way. It's not the end of the world. It's really not a big deal, but I'm trying to line things up on my map so that we can make a good map later. Okay, it's on the back side of flowers. This changes everything. Okay. So this is more this shape. And I see. I'm gonna look for this copper for like 10 more seconds, and then I just don't care anymore, ever. We need to get on to pottery as fast as we can. Yeah, okay. The copper's gone forever. Nobody knows what happened. Another question mark there. These maps don't have to be pretty, they just have to be functional for me personally, which it will be. But at some point I would like to draw a proper map so that it looks nice and stuff. I don't have that skill set. More food. This is good. This is good. It's not clay, but it's good. Now we're thinking I spawned over here somewhere, right? Next to 2 peaks. That's kind of a cool valley. It's not that I want to get to spawn, it's that I want to know where spawn is. I just wish I knew if this was the mountain. I mean, it has to be, right? Because, like, relative to where we've been ending up, we've been coming around that coast on the other side of this mountain. I think it has to be. We're getting back into kind of foresty territory, which does not exactly bring me immense joy. So, we're going to go to the plains. Okay, horsetail and stuff is not stellar. This is still a forest. We're just on the other side of the 2 peaks. That's a bear. Somehow I took this fantastic situation that was improving and made it dramatically worse very rapidly. So we're going to try to unfuck this. we're back at the conglomerate sands. We're back at the ruin. And we've wasted the whole day. It's 3 in the afternoon. So we need to kind of build a base very rapidly. Not really finding the clay I was dreaming of, but that's okay. I want to stay at least near known landmarks, so we might end up camping next to these ruins for now. I had big dreams. I was hoping we'd get crops down today, hoping we'd find some clay, be a whole thing. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna figure it out for the night. We just need a ton of dry grass to make a bed with. I was like, let's leave a bed here just in case. That was me. Do you remember the dumb guy saying that? Getting some kind of weird result there. Something's happening. Yeah, we're getting some weird results now, so I'm gonna save and quit. So we were at about 2 hours of recording, which surprises me. It didn't feel that long. These episodes are getting really long, and editing them down is very daunting. So I don't know how much of that I'm going to be actually doing. Okay, now I'm lost. Alright, I'm going to stay at this ruin for right now. Simply because I keep getting lost. We should probably dig a hole somewhere that's at least relatively protected. Previously, we were protected by the fact that things don't really spawn in the ocean. Hadn't thought about it till this moment. But yeah, we need more safety tonight than we've had so far. I need to build something, some kind of... Okay, I've got some soil. We should be fine to just kind of throw it down somewhere. Okay, cave is not where we want to hang out. We'll go over here. Now we've got limited blocks to make this work with. So okay, we should probably cook that. I don't actually know if we have enough firewood to cook it, but it'll be fine. So, 6 p.m. We need another 3 hours or so before we actually go to sleep. Let's take stock of our assets at this stage. We're doing great on protein, which gives us extra HP. We're at 18 instead of 15, max HP. We've got some clothing, but I don't think it's really doing us any good. Everything's kind of destroyed from getting hit. Our worms are good for 3 days, so that's good. Got this fat for 3 days, which is enough time to get a pot. We never did find enough wild vines. Got some flint. I think most of tomorrow is going to be searching for a housing location. I'll actually go ahead and do my journal entry while the food cooks. The move was relatively painless, but choosing a location to settle in is proving very difficult. I camped tonight near the Arched Ruins. I wonder to myself whether spawn is at Two Peaks. Everything near there is forest infested with bears and wolves. I must choose a home soon, and let's not let it be the Conglomerate Sands. Okay, this is the last of the food. So, today's got to be the day. Do I still have my shovel? It's the dumbest thing, but like, I cannot be bothered digging without a shovel. Okay. So here are the Arched Ruins. Where do we want to settle from here? If Two Peaks is back that way, this is like close enough, right? We might just settle right goddamn here. It is possible to change your spawn in this game, but you have to get not a rare drop, but like a rare drop from enemies, which means I have to fight enemies, which we're not going to be ready to do for some time. Hey, some copper. Add that to the map. Okay, we're gonna go check that water over there, I think. There's no right or wrong answer for where to settle. It's mostly about visuals and It's not doing it for me, you know? Okay, what do we got? We got witch's hat. You can eat that, I think. I like having mushrooms nearby. I do. This is a pretty good sized watering hole. I don't think it's in a forest. Turnips is great. There's a bear. But we can kill one bear. And maybe that will teach us where spawn is. Ugh. I think there's enough mushrooms here. Nice water. Cattails everywhere. I think this lake is going to be our home. Yes. Okay. So I can see my house from here. Where's the arched ruins? That's kind of our reference point. Okay. Okay. This is the map as of now. We started down here. This is hard to do. This is very difficult. So we started down here at Sand Trap. We traveled this way exploring. We found that this is all conglomerate sands. Then our final path was to the flowers, to the ruins, and then now we can see our house from there. And that's where we're going to camp. We believe that Twin Peaks, Two Peaks, is over there somewhere, and that is... I think I want to live like right here. So right here where all this is. It would still be preferable if we could find some clay, then we could get some storage going, things like that. But it's just not yet, you know? I think we might build a bear hole sooner than later. All things considered. Fighting bears is never safe, but we can make it safer. I think we're going to do that now. It's got to be 3 deep and 3 wide. Otherwise, the bear will not fall in. He'll be able to climb out. It's a whole thing. Yeah. So... that's too deep. And the trick is you basically just jump over it. As long as we have this panic button, then if the bear sees us, it's not that bad, but we're actually going to provoke him for sure. Yeah, we're going to dig this. Don't super want to, but... this is war, so we'll make it pretty later. After the bear gets off my lawn. Okay. We are prepared for battle. Kind of. I'm actually going to set a bunch of stuff down, I think. I'm so scared. Such a scaredy. Okay. Let's provoke a bear. We can find it again. They're fast, they're strong. Cannot be left in the area. Oh, there he is. Did he just run away? You're a bear, bro. Yeah. Okay. So we also need... I guess we should have made a spear first, right? Okay, that took an entire spear. That took 20 hits. I think that wolf howling means there is a wolf within like 100 blocks or something. I don't know the exact number, but I think we might not be as safe as I had hoped. But yeah, so we're going to start, I guess we're going to make a page for the bestiary, right? And I guess the first entry is going to be the bear. We're going to eat some food. Grab my shovel. Bushmeat, whole ass pelt, and some fat. Also bones, but none of that really matters this particular moment. So let's get a little cook fire going. Okay. Whatever this is, it needs to go. It's just like in my face. We're going to end up with a ton of seeds that we're just planting randomly for now. And that is because I don't have anywhere to store them. If I had someone to put them, I would put them, but I don't. So other things that we can just store, I think we could just put fat on the ground, actually. Okay. I'm going to try just putting a ton of firewood there and see if it's fine or if it has issues. Bones we don't need immediately. Fire starter is more of a backup than anything. Fishing pole I really wish we could set down, but we can't. So let's get chopping. I do like that tree there. Maybe. Maybe we're going to chop it for now. I really want some clear visibility. So much oak. Oak is a reasonable building material. It like looks nice. So we might not firewood this necessarily. But we might. This tree definitely has to go. Although I don't know if I have durability to chop the whole thing. So now we can at least see kind of like what's around us. I think our crops can probably get planted just around this. I'll need to build a fence though. And that's kind of the big. I like this. I like this area. A lot of the stuff's got to go. I keep thinking I hear bears. Like, it's gonna be nightmares for me for a while. Pretty much until we figure out where spawn. I'm gonna be skittish. Alright, we've got 1,000,000 sticks. Which means we can make 1,000,000 fences. I guess we'll hoe it first, right? I think the rule is 3 out or something. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9. And to protect that, we're going to have to protect this whole kind of area. Maybe I should... It says within 3, so I think we're gonna do this whole area. So 3 by 9 is 28 or something. Right, and we'll just switch over to this. Man, we're gonna need a big farm, but it's okay. We do want to... Okay, I forgot to check the farming stats of any of this before I planted it. So, heat resistant until 27. We need to start a farming section of our book. I think we want to make a chart. So, what do we have? We have nutrients, consumption, growth time, hold. This is where the ruler comes in. We're pretty close to 27. I'm a little worried about it. So we don't know the stats of the spells. But let's say 8th of May is when we planted. So 16 days from May 8th is like a month and a half or something. So we would expect these in like July something to be ready, assuming they're hydrated and such. Okay. My shovel. Where is my shovel? We need to expand this farm a little bit, but we also need enough room to put a fence around it. It's like a bigger deal than it seems, because animals eat plants now. They didn't used to, I guess. It was bugs. We're also, like, not doing stellar on flint. We're not doing awful. Like, it's fine, but I would like to find a different kind of stone that is more plentiful to make all my stuff out of. These turnips are not going to be kind to me, I don't think. I don't know that we're ready to be choosy about nutrients and stuff. I think we're just trying to get stuff in the ground, honestly. I don't know if wild crops and player planted crops are the same, or if I should be replanting these turnips. It's quite unclear. We're going to leave them in the ground, I think. They're getting rain right now, but I just realized we have no way to really water the crops this far out, which is less than ideal, but I think it's going to be okay. If we can find clay, we can get a watering can, which kind of solves it. Gives us some work to do, but it's fine. Eventually we will get to buckets, and then we can just move some water. Fine. I don't see a wolf. Okay. We are all planted up, but now we have to protect this. This is actually pretty sizable, so. Now, I know critters can swim across the water, so we'll need to actually, I think, go too high on all of this. Okay, we need our sticks. All right, fire went out. Okay. Too many things at once. Need to just choose and pay attention to what I'm doing. What I'm doing is making a knife. I think maybe just moving the fence up is the play. I don't know why I'm being dumb. This is the first farm I've actually planted. I've never been a farm guy, so like, pretty exciting for me. Yeah, I have enough dirt that I think we're gonna raise the edge just to make it more uniform. Cool. So that should be secure from critters eating stuff. Bears can still get in because they can climb too high, but should not be an issue. I don't think they eat props. IRL, I think bears are omnivores. But in-game, I don't know that we've done that work. Okay, time of day 6. Okay, I'd actually like to start building a house, I think, but might just need to fence things in for now. This has to go. I don't know if there's a tree in here or what, but it's gotta go. And 20 fences keep missing. We'll find out. So this is why I hang on to my fire starter so much. Right now my torch is out. No, it's not. What? It's under a tree. Fantastic. I can't get it. Oh no. Actual disaster. I'm so mad. I did not notice until this moment that this stupid wheel is turning. There are just random places on the map where your temporal stability lowers. I've made this mistake before. I built this really awesome hot springs around a hot springs, and then I found out the temporal stability was bad. So we just built that whole farm. We were planning to build a house right here because I love it, and we can't. Not effectively. We have to move somewhere else. I'm so mad right now. We'll sleep through the night and figure it out in the morning, but... I established my very first farm today. It took some clearing and I had to dispatch 1 bear. In total, I believe I planted around 30 spelt and 20 rye. I would expect a harvest around mid-July. However, the bad news is that this area has poor temporal stability. Despite looking perfect, I can't build a home here. Okay, so now the game becomes, how far away from here does the gear turn? Because if this could just be my backyard or something, that would be fine. If I could just move to the other side of this, we could maybe make that work. Not ideal. Because again, it's a little too foresty for my taste. What just came out of that hole? I don't know that I even want to know. Can we move to the other side of the farm, maybe? I'm still running. This is crazy. Maybe I've misunderstood something? But that gear should turn around when I'm out of the danger zone. Usually they're not that big. Okay. Wow. Okay, out here I'm okay. clay. Somehow we missed it previously. That's huge. I think my initial setup for clay uses a little bit more than a stack. Okay, so there's clay right here. We're going to mark that on the map for sure. Okay, so how close can I get before my wheel changes? Right here. So this is like a reasonable marker for where. Yeah, if we go any deeper, it'll turn around. That sucks. And then I guess we didn't run out the other side, but if we were to trend towards 2 peaks, how close could we get to 2 peaks? Like another. Parsnips. It's a lot more foresty than we want it to be. That over there might work. Take a look. Try not to be, overly negative. I'd like to live by some water, basically. It just makes me happy. Even in real life, I grew up on the coast, right? On the Gulf of Mexico. And it's the weirdest thing. I did not go to the beach very much. I wasn't really that guy. But just driving away from that town, I felt the missing ocean. It was very strange. I didn't think I'd ever care, and I super did. Like, it brought me much sadness. And then coming back, I felt pretty good. Now, this feels like conglomerate sands, so not really where we want to be. I'm a little upset about not being able to live where I want to. I don't really understand the value of the mechanic. Maybe it'll do something later, right? Like maybe they're still working out the idea. But currently it's just like, oh, that sucks. a lot of food here too. Like it was gonna be pretty casual. Oop. So we've got camp here. We could stay here a little bit, but really not a lot. How far this way do I have to go? To get out of the fuck you zone. More clay. Alright, okay. This is still in the fuck you zone. Sucks. Oh, we've kind of stalled out. Maybe we're turning favorably almost? Okay, so this is turning favorably. Nope. I'm so disappointed. This is fine. My food's going bad, but just oh, fun. I just burned everything down. Beautiful. Amazing. Okay. So we're going to leave that to go. Pit kiln takes 20 hours to finish. It is now 11. So it should be sometime tomorrow. Right. Yeah, this should be back towards the way. I think I do want to get closer to the peaks, maybe? I don't know that I do. I think right here should honestly be fine. I'm just annoyed that I couldn't build where I wanted to. Again, I don't understand the mechanic at all, so maybe there's a good reason. Okay, let's expand this a little. Fine. I'm thinking our front door will go out here. Maybe have a little porch. Building with wood is generally not a fantastic idea. It can burn down pretty easily like we just saw, but I need a hut. I need a place to call my own. We just happen to have a lot of wood on hand, so. I think we're gonna... Okay, now my stuff's at a dead state. Are we really in a bad spot again, or is it just this rift? It's hard to say. One small cooked fish. So I guess we're not getting those big medium ocean fish anymore. But mostly I just want to use these worms up. We're going to use our first bait fish and see if we get some cool fish as a result, but probably not. Nope. Didn't mean to click. I have like a really heavy right finger, so I right click all the time when I don't mean to. It drives me crazy. So I don't think this is a bad place to live, but I do think I want to move back quite a bit. A storage vessel would be good because it'll let us store things. Sounds so stupid to say, but storage is a big deal. Man, this fish took forever to cook. 700 though, that's sizable. Ooh, baby. We got a scythe. We got a tin bronze scythe. That's exciting. All right, we got rye seeds. We've got cabbage seeds. Okay, I think that's where I'm going to end it for tonight. It is the end of the first month. Tonight I remain homeless, but not hopeless. The struggle of the coast is done. I now have a farm, pottery, and plenty of fish. True, I must still find a suitable housing, some place without temporal issues, but I have opened the door to the future. With pottery, not only will food stretch further, but I can store items and begin processing copper. It's a crude map, but it has given me a foothold into this land. The work begins now. Alright guys, so just to recap the state of the journal at this particular moment, we're still very early. We've got our index here. We've added hunting strategies, bestiary, and farming. Shale has been added to the non-nappable stones list. Hunting strategies I wrote off stream. I was just kind of thinking, like, what do I want to try out to try and get more animals? And so we're talking about animal pits, and we're talking about how I lost 1v1 is not great. So things I want to test here at the bottom. Shields, a deeper hole, see if I can get them to die from fall damage, might save me some trouble. And hitting them with a torch, I heard, sets them on fire potentially. And that could be interesting. We've got several journal entries from today. Bestiary only has one entry. It's an index that goes to more pages, which is the bears. The only note I have on bears right now is that one full flint spear was required to kill it, which I think was like 20 hits. Farming, we've started a chart for the stats of the seeds, and we've put down when we initially planted that farm so we can go harvest it at the right time. May 9th, our last journal entry, I also put notes here for when I started my pottery. 20 hours after that, I can go collect it. So I've got a different note for each one that I started. And then not in the index, just here in the very back, because kind of like working notes maps, is our super dope Found Our Way map. It's very loose. It will be cleaned up, and different areas might get their own maps in the future. Also, I'm looking at ways to kind of trail mark in-game, like maybe certain flowers lead down certain paths. I haven't quite decided, but all that sort of infrastructure is going to help us conquer this island. So thanks for hanging out with me, and I don't know what the editing situation is going to be. So don't feel like you have to watch all of it. The point is the journal, but I don't have anything to show until we get to the end. So I just put it there so you can watch it if you so desire. Anyway, have a great day.